Coming up on Point News, Point Park media students cover election night at the Center for Media Innovation. We'll have the latest from interviews with experts to the presidential election results.
Coming up, I'll tell you which campus organization's annual charity event took Lawrence Hall by storm this past week. Plus, we'll also take a look at why downtown Pittsburgh is already prepared for this Christmas holiday. Point News starts now.
Live from the Point Park University Broadcast Center in downtown Pittsburgh, this is Point News.
Good afternoon. I'm Ashley Corradini.
And I'm Alex Martich. In a stunning turn of events, what seemed to be a long shot has happened in the world of politics. Early Wednesday morning, it became official. Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States. Votes from the states of Arizona, Michigan, and New Hampshire are still being counted. But as the Electoral College stands right now, Hillary Clinton has 228 electoral votes compared to Donald Trump's 279.
On Election Day, members of Point Park student media came together to produce a live broadcast in the Center for Media Innovation. Students went live at 8 p.m. Point News' very own Blaine King and Josh Krupp hosted this broadcast, which was streamed live on YouTube. Students called the results as they were coming in for over 5 straight hours, finally deciding to call it a night at 1:30 a.m.
Donald Trump has certainly had an impact on the American people. Now that he is the president-elect, let's take a look at how this has and will continue to affect the American people. Point News reporter Trevor Sheets is here with the story. Trevor?
Thanks, Alex. With the election of Donald Trump as our president on Tuesday, America will be seeing a president the likes of which we have never seen before. By that I mean, he will be a president with no former political or military experience. Last week, I had the opportunity to sit down with 2 Point Park professors to discuss the effect Donald Trump had on our political landscape and if this is going to be a trend in upcoming elections. Do you guys think that the Donald Trump phenomenon, someone coming out of nowhere who's not from the political establishment and is controversial, but apparently no one seems to care, is this going to be a flash in the pan type of situation, or are we seeing a trend almost like we saw kind of with the Tea Party for a little while? Is this something we're going to see in elections next couple years, even into the next presidential election?
The one and only thing that makes me appreciate Donald Trump's candidacy is that he has defeated the establishment. He's defeated the Republican establishment.
At their own game.
Yeah, and not through any policy proposals or attitudes that I would endorse, but he has shown the world that it is possible to override this once almighty political establishment. And so I hope that there are more candidates in the future who go against their party rulers' wishes. That's what I think Bernie Sanders' candidacy was.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were getting that from both sides this year.
Yeah.
You're seeing shifts, paradigm shifts from both ends of the political spectrum. Mm-hmm. Who's going to prevail, remains to be seen. And also, how much passion / converted into energy, because next year you've got local races. You've got judges being elected. You've got local town councils and school boards. And we always made a joke in politics that, in the presidential election year, everybody and their grandmother would come out. They want bumper stickers, they want buttons, they want everything. Realistically, the presidency has about that much, impact on your day-to-day life. Okay, not that it isn't important, it certainly is. But next year's elections are the people in government that truly affect your lives on a daily basis, and nobody comes out. You can't get 5 volunteers to come out for certain races and such. So I'm reserving my judgment to see where this goes now. However, there's so much passion that we haven't seen in decades that perhaps there is going to be some movement there.
So it looks like both parties may be looking for candidates in upcoming elections, that can really invoke the passion of their constituents, be it from inside Washington or at the boardroom table. Reporting for Point News, I'm Trevor Sheets.
Third-party candidates also played a major role in this year's election. Point News reporter Phil Papore explains on that. The current presidential election has seen a historic dislike
of the top two candidates among Americans, which has opened the door for third-party candidates to gain ground in the polls. According to an ABC News Washington Post poll released in August, Hillary Clinton's unfavorability rating amongst U.S. adults was 56%. At the time, Trump's rating was 63%. This has led some voters to consider other options.
It definitely has. Before in the past, I mean, obviously I never got to vote in an election before, but I still got a lot of background knowledge on them just to get some knowledge on politics. But before I really never looked into third-party candidates because I always sided with one automatically. But now there's a lot of things I like about Hillary, and there's some things that I like about Trump, and vice versa. There's a lot of hate about Trump, and there's a lot of hate about Hillary. So now it's just making me look into third-party candidates and just see what they have to say.
Though some voters have considered third-party candidates, others feel it's a waste of their vote.
I think some things kind of made me look at it, but overall I kind of just lean towards the two main candidates, I guess you could say.
I like Gary Johnson, but I knew if I voted for him it'd be pointless because he wasn't going to win, so.
I think that third parties really don't have that much of a chance against, select people.
Good music, great prizes, lots of pie, and more. It was all part of WPPJ's Radio's annual Rockathon event. I got the chance to go behind the scenes. What do you get when you add 3 days of nonstop radio, the Early Learning Institute, and tons of great prizes? You guessed it. A huge success, and WPPJ's best Rockathon ever. 4 days, 67 hours, and 26 DJs. Those are the numbers behind WPPJ's annual Rockathon event. This was the second year for the Radio Marathon, which began with the Pie the President event. Students paid $1 to pie the United Student Government President, Blaine King. All proceeds went to the Early Learning Institute.
And the Early Learning Institute is an organization that's funded by the government, and they basically take children that have developmental issues between the ages of 0 and 3, and they just give them a little boost to help them get ahead or at least caught up with where they should be.
Rockathon also included prizes from several local vendors and a bake sale. Altogether, the station raised $2,000 for the Early Learning Institute, which beat last year's total. Organizers hope the popular event can help raise its profile.
I think that it's important for us to have an event like this because
We're now 45 days away from Christmas. Can you believe it? Well, the city of Pittsburgh sure can. Pittsburgh welcomed the arrival of its annual Christmas tree Saturday. This year's tree has a special meaning to one couple from Pittsburgh's Oakwood neighborhood. The blue spruce tree, standing 53 feet tall, was actually a wedding gift 33 years ago. Nancy Rutner and Andy Suchdak watched their tree grow from when it was 1 foot tall when the couple married in 1983. The couple parted ways with their tree that now rests at the City County building downtown. The tree will be decorated with bicentennial ornaments with the name of each Pittsburgh neighborhood. The annual tree lighting ceremony will help kick off the city's annual Light Up Night celebration on November 18th. And two high school football stars fight to bring their team to victory.
We'll tell it how it happened after the break.
We are a social people.
Was that a two-shot the whole
It was supposed to be a two-shot, but it was a one-shot.
It was?
We share our inspiration, wisdom, creations, and memories. We share what makes us laugh and what angers us. Built on the notion of a free flow of ideas, our country thrives on the freedom of speech. Without it, who would watch over our governing powers? And how would we share our history to make a difference for the future? It's this freedom to share that gives us a reason to listen.
All right, guys, any questions on script? Are we good to go?
Yep,
right.
should be good.
All right, great. All right, yeah, camera 3, set up right there. Camera 2, use the ball when you're moving this around, but set up for the two shot, just right there. Weather, how we doing?
It gon' rain.
Perfect.
SmackDown reviews, the real host Adrian Billon was seen snuggling up.
All right, prompter. We got everything in. We're good to go. Key Pro, everything loaded. We're good to go. All right, Tyler. Any questions?
That shot looks fine.
3, 2, 1. Bring up camera 2. Open mics. Cue talent.
Good morning and welcome to Daybreak. I'm Blaine King.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Aubrey Henkin.
And I'm Aaron Myler.
And this is Entertainment on Point.
Beyonce has surprised us again.
Kanye West just tweeted.
This was a huge weekend at the box office.
A fan favorite TV show just got canceled.
Guess what band is coming to the city? And the award went to...
But did you see her engagement ring?
Her outfit was awful.
I would fire her stylist.
Tune in for all of your Hollywood gossip and pop culture news.
Entertainment on Point.
Get into the point of pop culture.
Yeah. This past weekend, a local magician recreated a classic stunt done by Houdini himself.
Point News reporter Aaron Myler has the story.
On this day 100 years ago, Harry Houdini created history on Liberty Avenue. Today, Lee Turbosic will do the same. Lee Turbosic is a magician who hails from Pittsburgh, which was why it was so special to him to recreate Harry Houdini's iconic stunt on the intersection of Liberty Avenue and Wood Street. MC Rick Seaback was a little bit nervous for Lee before the stunt started.
I think all of us have a little bit of fear for him, certainly seeing that bag hanging there and knowing he's going to be 90 feet in the air. It's pretty amazing.
First, the magician was strapped into a straitjacket. Then, a crane lifted him 90 feet in the air, high above the crowd, where he successfully managed to free himself from the jacket in just 4 minutes, which was 3 minutes less than expected.
Pittsburgh, I love you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I will always be a Pittsburgher. I will never forget you guys.
The stunt was done to help promote Turbosic's residency at Dave & Buster's in the waterfront, just as Houdini did his stunt for promotion 100 years ago.
And I think Lee's following in his footsteps, or hanging from the same ropes.
And he had a special message for his hometown fans.
Always, always, always follow your dreams. But today, thank you so very much for believing in mine.
Reporting for Point News, I'm Aaron Myler.
Coming up on Point News, it's a brand new basketball season. See how the Point Park women's and men's teams are performing.
And on the flip side, the soccer season is over. We'll tell you how the Pioneers wrapped up their year.
Here on the Pioneer sideline, we talk a lot about sports in the studio, but it's beforehand when the conversation is actually interesting.
I hope I have enough powder on. I don't want to be too shiny on camera.
No, Trevor, I think it looks good. Every week you pull it off.
Ah, thanks, Phil. Man, your hair looks great tonight, by the way.
You sure? Yeah, I mean, I got a new haircut, but it looks all right.
Hey, guys. Does this make me look fat?
No, you look great. You look good. Yeah, Kyle.
Thanks. That was really...
Sports! Yeah!
Ever wanted to be behind the mic and have the world listening to your show on campus? Well, it's just as simple as joining WPPJ, Point Park's student-run radio station, located on the second floor of Lawrence Hall, right next to the dining services. Listeners can tune in using Point Park's website or through the TuneIn app by searching WPPJ. WPPJ welcomes any new DJs that want to get involved, so be heard. Do you have what it takes?
Well, no one showed up to the show tonight. Follow my lead. In 3, 2, take 2, open mics, cue talent. Good evening and welcome to UView News. I'm Josh Krupp. We begin with breaking news out of West Penn Hall. Ready, 3, take lower third. Traffic is backed up in the West Penn elevator line after elevator 1 broke down on the 7th floor. Lose lower third. Maintenance advises students to take the stairs to avoid delays. Ready, 2, take 2. In other news, no, you know what? I didn't sign up for this. We need crew. Join UView. Take alien hand transition.
Point Park Center for Student Success has a new way for students to have access to internships and jobs.
Point News reporter Brittany Monet has the story.
Success leads students to being only a handshake away from jobs and internships. Elsie Busek is on a mission. She works to find Point Park students jobs. She uses a relatively new internet program called Handshake to make the match.
What I find to be good about Handshake is the fact that it's so easy to use. It's like using something like LinkedIn or Facebook. It's very user friendly. It's, you know, it looks good. And we can tailor a lot of things to Point Park.
Browsing the site, students can find a number of jobs and internships in their field of study. Students can create their own profile where they can add resumes, cover letters, and can directly connect with employers.
I think it's very beneficial because most people wonder what to do after college, and you know, having a program like this will help people out. It gives them the next step moving forward, finding a career in their major and what they want to do with their lives.
This is available to both students and alumni. You can also learn how to make a resume and even create a mock interview.
I would definitely use this program because it's very simple to use. All you have to do is make an account and you go in there and everything's set up for you. I personally find it, you know, I don't have a lot of time to be going on Google and like all these different websites and looking up job internships and all these different jobs. So by just going on this website, I feel like it's very simple and it's quick, and there's a lot of opportunity on there.
And finding the right opportunity is now easier than ever. Reporting for Point News, I'm Brittany Monet.
Today might be the last nice autumn day here in Pittsburgh as we say goodbye to fall-like temperatures and say hello to the wintry weather.
Right now, let's take a look at today's forecast and your weekend outlook with Aaron Myler. Aaron?
Thanks, guys. So on this weekend, we are going to see Thursday is going to have some temperatures up around 60, but a low down near 45. We're going to see some precipitation, but moving into the weekend, on Friday, we are going to see temperatures that are a little bit colder. We're going to have everything going down below freezing on Friday, low at 31 with a little bit of precipitation. So hopefully we won't see any snow. On Saturday, it is going to be getting colder, but Sunday, the low is going to be down at 33. So it will be back above freezing. So hopefully we keep the same trend with November. Let's toss it over to Matt Kruth with sports.
The men's soccer team season came to a close on Saturday as they fell to midway in the RSC tournament final. The Pioneers ended up losing the game 1-0 and finished the year with a 9-9-1 record. Point Park men's basketball team is set to play St. Francis tomorrow as part of their season opening tournament in Pikeville, Kentucky. The team has only played one other game to this point, losing on Tuesday to Washington Adventist. Point Park women's basketball team has opened its season with an impressive 2-0 record. The Pioneers most recently beat Bluefield on Saturday by a score of 65-61. Forward Sam Weir led all scores with 30 points in the victory. The women play again on Saturday at Robert Morris, just down the street, against the Colonials. High school playoff football is dominating the gridiron this time of year, but one game in particular, something happened that hasn't happened in 6 years. The East Allegheny Wildcats suited up for the Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League playoffs. Point News reporter Alex Grubbs was there as the Wildcats took on the Freedom High Bulldogs.
Churchman Stadium, home of the East Allegheny Wildcats, and also the stadium of the Wildcats' first football playoff game since 2010. Fans and students gathered to watch the game play out with high spirits from the crowd. Senior cornerback and wide receiver Tavian Boynes believed he had the game going after scoring EA's first touchdown.
I felt like I was going to start bringing my team back from there. I thought we was going to mount a comeback.
Junior receiver TJ Banks echoed this after scoring the second touchdown of the game.
I felt like the game wasn't over yet on both of them. I just kept having heart, faith that we was going to come back and win.
But that didn't happen. The Bulldogs beat out the Wildcats 38-21, even though East Allegheny started out with an advantage. This is the first time East Allegheny has played on this turf in the WPIAL playoffs, as it was installed in late 2014. Banks hopes to make it even further in the playoffs next school year.
That's what I believe we can do. We just got to put in the work.
The AA Division Finals will be held at Robert Morris University's Joe Walton Stadium on November 26th. Reporting for Point News, I'm Alex Grubbs.
That does it for this week's Point News. Be sure to join us next Thursday live at 2 p.m.
Have a great week, everybody.